Peer Review and Speaking to the Blind, celebrating 40 years of audio newspaper production. Welcome to this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast, recorded at the Bishopbriggs Media Centre by our amazing volunteers. You can get in touch with us via Facebook, Twitter or Instagram using @QuenReview. That is @CUEANDREVIEW. You can also contact us directly by emailing information@QuenReview.com. That is INFORMATION@CUEANDREVIEW.com, or by calling 0141 772 3976. That's 0141 772 3976.
This week's edition of the Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald podcast is recorded on the 1st of February 2023 by our volunteers Alan, Corey, Hunter and Ian. Time to have your say on plan for town centre. Report by Morag Cook, read to you today by myself, Ian. Residents, businesses and groups are being invited to help further guide efforts to revamp public realm areas in Bishopbriggs. A concept plan has been developed for the town centre following engagement/consultation by East Dunbartonshire Council in 2021 and 2022. From Monday, February the 6th until Tuesday, February the 28th, you can check out the Council's new interactive online exhibition and have a say by visiting www.eastdunbarton.gov.uk/Briggs-2023. In addition, a drop-in event is being held at Bishopbriggs War Memorial Hall on Tuesday, February the 7th from noon to 6:30pm, where members of the design team will be on hand to answer any questions and collate feedback. You can also access a hard copy of the proposals and a comment form at Bishopbriggs Library. The Bishopbriggs Public Realm Plan is a key part of the Council's £34.88 million Place and Growth Programme, supported by the UK and Scottish Governments through the Glasgow City Region City Deal. The plan aims to give priority to walking, wheeling, cycling and public transport over cars, rework the existing public realm and deliver new public spaces, creating new opportunities for all, make the town centre a more active, inclusive and engaging place in which to spend time. Councillor Gordon Lowe, leader of East Dunbartonshire Council, said, "I hope as many residents, businesses and groups as possible can share their local experience and knowledge to help deliver a design which best reflects the needs and desires of the town." It's important to note that this concept plan is not set in stone. It's an overview of aspirations for Bishopbriggs Town Centre. All feedback will be collated and analysed and will inform detailed proposals. Further consultation will then be held. It's envisaged that work will be delivered in phases. Support has already been secured from the Glasgow City Region City Deal, but additional funding will also be sought. Please give your views if you can. This week in history, 1st of February 2023. February the 1st, 1901, actor Clark Gable was born in Ohio. On this day last year, BBC Three returned as a broadcast channel nearly 6 years after it moved online. February the 2nd, 1972, a mob in Dublin burned down the British Embassy in protest at the Bloody Sunday killings in Londonderry the previous weekend. February the 3rd, 1983, UK unemployment hit a record high of 3.22 million. On this day last year, the Duke of Sussex took part in an online conversation with tennis star Serena Williams, where he admitted he had experienced burnout and previously felt he was getting to the very end of everything I had. February the 4th, 1902, Captain Charles Lindbergh, US pioneer aviator and the first to fly solo across the Atlantic, was born in Detroit. On this day last year, 8 new stamps celebrating the Queen's dedication to service were issued by the Royal Mail to mark the monarch's Platinum Jubilee. February the 5th, 1953. Sweet rationing ends in Britain after 11 years in force. February the 6th, 1927. A boy violinist in short trousers, aged 10, caused a sensation in Paris when he performed Symphonie Espagnole. The child prodigy was Yedi Menuhin. Photo could crack case. Cold case investigators have released a new facial reconstruction image of a man whose body was found in woods more than 11 years ago in a bid to identify him. The human remains were discovered in woodland near Balmore Golf Club, East Dunbartonshire, on October the 16th, 2011. There were no suspicious circumstances surrounding the death, but despite previous appeals and extensive inquiries, police have been unable to establish his identity. In a fresh bid to solve the case, a new facial reconstruction and 3D images of the man's clothing have been released. Investigators at the Scottish Cold Case Unit at Glasgow Caledonian University, in partnership with missing persons charity Locate International, issued the images. The images, produced by the University of Dundee, are being shown alongside photos of the man's belongings and drone footage of the woods where he was found. Forensic analysis revealed the man suffered injuries before his death, which may have affected his appearance, quality of life and gait. It is estimated he was aged between 25 and 34, 5 foot 8 inch to 6 foot 1 inch tall, and of slight build. Dr. Maureen Taylor, co-director of the Scottish Cold Case Unit at Glasgow Caledonian, said, "The team have been undertaking inquiries around the clock. He was wearing, in his belongings, a geographical profile of the location in which he was found, and missing men from the UK and Europe. We know he had a chip to one of his front teeth and injuries to his nose and jaw that he sustained in the months leading to his death. These injuries were not only left untreated, but would have caused him significant pain. We also believe that he may have walked with a limp or had difficulty walking. He was discovered wearing a blue Topman t-shirt with a maroon diagonal stripe in the front, a blue zipped cardigan bearing the logo Greek Pennsylvania jeans, and black walking shoes." Professor Leslie McMillan, co-director of the unit, said, "We hope this information and images in our appeal jog someone's memory. The Cold Case Unit has spent the last 18 months gathering as much detail as we can to progress this case."
Bridge works as recorded by Hunter MacDonald. Overnight lane closures are scheduled on the M8 near Shotts to allow Transport Scotland's operating company BEAR Scotland to complete pier projection works on 2 overbridges located between junctions 5 and 6. The improvements are being carried out as part of an ongoing project to upgrade safety barriers on the central reserve of the M8 between junctions 5 and 6. These upgrades will ensure the barriers conform to modern standards. No significant delays are expected as a result of these lane closures. Chris Tracy, BEAR Scotland South East Unit Bridges Manager, said, "It is essential that we implement lane closures during the works. However, we've arranged for them to take place overnight to minimise the impact. Real-time journey information is available at www.traffic.gov.scot. MP's Care Bills third reading. Stuart MacDonald, MP for Cumbernauld, Clyside and Kirkintilloch East, has brought forward his private member's bill on neonatal leave and pay for its third reading. The Neonatal Care Leave and Pay Bill, if passed, would provide additional leave and pay to parents of premature and sick babies, in addition to maternity and paternity leave and pay. The bill has received a wide range of support from numerous organisations including Bliss, The Smallest Things and Pregnant Then Screwed, all of whom have campaigned tirelessly on the issue and have been instrumental in bringing the bill to this stage. Commenting, Mr MacDonald said, "Welcoming a new baby into the world is a life-changing moment for parents, full of joy and exciting challenges. Sadly though, tens of thousands of parents across the UK each year face additional worries if their baby is born prematurely or unwell and in need of neonatal care. 1 in 7 babies born in the UK receive some form of neonatal care just after birth. I think we can all agree that we should do what we can to make life a bit easier for these parents at a traumatic and stressful time. That is why my private member's bill introduced in Parliament last June is so vital. I want to see this crucial bill passed and implemented as quickly as possible. The bill's provisions cannot take away the trauma of having a child in neonatal care, but it can help to relieve some of the practical and financial challenges that so many families are having to face.
MP's warning over undemocratic Brexit bill. Eastern Bartonshire MP Amy Callaghan has warned that a new bill gives UK ministers the unprecedented power to replace existing EU laws with anything they want without parliamentary oversight. The retained EU law bill gives ministers until the end of 2023 to either confirm that existing EU laws will continue or replace them with new regulations. The bill affects thousands of laws, and if ministers do not decide on any individual law before the end of the year, then that law will drop off the statute book. Speaking after the bill's third reading, Ms Callaghan said there was a serious risk of creating a legal black hole, leading to people in Eastern Bartonshire losing hard-won rights such as those over working time and equal pay, as well as consumer protections. Concerns have been raised by politicians across Westminster, as well as the British Chamber of Commerce, that called for the 2023 deadline to be pushed back to 2026. Commenting, she said, "When we buy a house, pay our taxes, or have our salaries set, there are thousands of laws that protect us. Many of these were originally EU laws. This Tory bill gives UK ministers the absolute power to rip them up, replace them with whatever they want, or do nothing and see them disappear at the end of the year. It's an appalling bill that has been rushed through, driven by petty anti-Europeanism and devoid of any common sense. It also gives UK ministers the power to change laws in areas under the power of the Scottish Parliament without consulting the relevant Scottish minister or our Scottish Government. Just one further attack and devolution by a UK government that is clearly intent on rolling back the powers of the Scottish Parliament. Unfortunately, when I voted with my colleagues last week for an amendment that would have stopped the bill from affecting Scottish legislation in devolved areas, Scottish Tory MPs voted against us. I will continue making the case that people in Eastern Bartonshire did not consent to this hard Brexit that is being imposed on us by the Tories." Read by Alan Todd. It's back to school for Robin. Scottish broadcaster and television presenter Robin Richford returned to her high school, Lenzie Academy, last week as part of the BBC Share Your Story tour to inspire the next generation. Having grown up in Kirkintilloch, Robin is a familiar face and voice on TV and radio, best known for presenting ITV's Scrambled, the UK's longest-running children's Saturday morning TV show, and hosting the UK's only kids' national radio station, Fun Kids Radio. Robin also presented The Takeover on BBC Radio 1. Robin attended Lenzie Academy from 2004 to 2010 and returned to the high school as part of the BBC Share Your Story tour, which introduces young people to inspirational career stories to help give them the confidence to share their own. As part of the tour, Robin also visited pupils and shared the gift of storytelling with the nearby Bishopbriggs Academy, Vale of Leven Academy, St Peter the Apostle High School and Straven Academy. Robin hosted an interactive assembly at Lenzie Academy to share with pupils the importance of storytelling and jobs in the creative industry and to highlight the ways in which storytelling can open up the world. She also gave an insight into her career and the challenges she has overcome along the way. Students got the chance to engage with these stories of success and vulnerability and share their own stories in whatever format they choose, perhaps a rap, a film, a poem, or an oral story. Robin said, "Lenzie Academy really did shape me and gave me the confidence to pursue a career in TV and radio. so I was really looking forward to going back. The Share Your Story tour is a brilliant way to show the students that there is a world of possibilities out there and everyone has a story to tell. I'm grateful to be a part of it and show that us Scottish can do it too. BBC Director General Tim Davie highlights the BBC's ongoing commitment to supporting education. The BBC has played a vital role in education throughout the last century, from Children's Hour broadcast in 1922, introducing the BBC microcomputer to schools in the 1980s, to supporting an entire nation of home learners during the coronavirus pandemic.
Nurse turns life around. An NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde nurse has turned her life around after accessing weight management services. Joanne Bell, who's a full-time staff nurse in the Medical High Dependency Unit at the Glasgow Royal Infirmary, has lost over 6 stone in weight and has noticed a positive change in her health and well-being. The 44-year-old from Kirkintilloch reached out to weight management services after being referred from her GP to help improve her overall health, and has dropped from 17 stones 9 pounds to 11 stones 5 pounds. Joanne has praised the help she received from both NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde and Weight Watchers on her weight loss journey. She said, "Initially, I was nervous about starting my weight loss journey, but I knew something had to change. I was unable to play with my grandkids and children, which was a huge factor in my journey, and I was fed up getting breathless from walking short distances." The process of the referral was extremely quick and smooth. After being referred by my GP on the Tuesday and contacted by the weight management team on the Thursday, I had my Weight Watchers welcome pack by the Saturday. I didn't hold out much hope in actually sticking to my plan with Weight Watchers and thought I would lose the usual few stone and then give up and put the weight back on, but this time it was completely different. Speaking on her role in the GRI, Joanne highlighted the number of benefits as a result of her weight loss, and how this has impacted her work and home life. I have went from an XL uniform to a size small, which is amazing. Working in a busy environment can be tough, but since my weight loss, I never feel as tired or after a shift as I did previously. Joining the Weight Watchers community was one of the best decisions I have ever made. My husband and son were also very supportive throughout my journey, as they ate what I was eating to further motivate me. Deputy Director of Public Health, Emily Crichton, said, "Joanne is an inspiration and transformed her life through accessing services available, and I would encourage anyone who has any health or weight concerns to visit Manage Your Weight, NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde, or call 0141 211 3379, Monday to Friday, 8 AM to 4 PM.
Dispute has shown no sign of waning. Opposing sides in the ongoing teachers' dispute have been having their say about the pay wrangle, which shows no sign of waning into the new year, despite high-level talks taking place last Friday, January the 20th. Union representatives met with Education Minister Shirley Ann Somerville, but the Minister has been accused of having little or no interest in finding the extra cash to provide Scotland's teachers with the 10% pay increase they are demanding. Education Institute of Scotland Salaries convener Des Morris said, 5 months since their sub-inflationary 5% pay offer was overwhelmingly rejected by teachers, and more than 2 months since a rehashed version of the same offer was again rejected, the Scottish Government and COSLA brought absolutely nothing new to the table in last week's meeting. Just a stubborn stance that Scotland's teachers should accept 5%, which represents yet another substantial real terms pay cut that only further erodes the value of teachers' pay. The reality is that the union side wants to negotiate and has offered a wide range of suggestions towards the potential compromise that the First Minister and her Cabinet Secretary have said is needed to reach agreement. We have had absolutely no proposals from the Scottish Government and COSLA, however, merely the same old tired lines and a repeated and unreasonable insistence that all of the compromise must come from Scotland's teachers. The ongoing and planned strike action is entirely avoidable. The Scottish Government and COSLA need to come forward with a genuinely improved offer that unions can put to our members. Meanwhile, Miss Somerville said, "We held further constructive talks with teaching unions and COSLA. Dialogue remains focused on potential areas for compromise in bringing this dispute to an end, rather than tabling a new offer at this time. We remain absolutely committed to ensuring they receive a fair pay deal. Strikes in our schools are in no one's interest, including for pupils, parents and carers who have already had to deal with significant disruption over the past 3 years. I urge unions to reconsider current industrial action while talks are ongoing."
ScotMed aids pets. ScotMed has donated 100 pet aid boxes to the Scottish SPCA's initiative to support people and pets who are struggling during the cost of living crisis. The boxes include essential food and care supplies for animals in need and are provided through a network of 33 food banks across Scotland. Shirley McGilvery, ScotMed Head of Membership and Community, said, "We recognise the importance of pets to our physical and mental well-being, so keeping them safe and connected with their owners is something we are proud to support. Our friends at Scottish SPCA continue to do incredible work supporting the welfare of animals and their owners through the most difficult times. We are glad to be able to help them. Find out more and donate at www.scottishspca.org/shop/pet-aid-gift-box. Hospice goes on air. The Prince and Princess of Wales Hospice is taking to the airways with its very own podcast series. For the first time in its history and to mark its 40th anniversary, the hospice is bringing its story to a whole new audience with a special 6-part podcast series. Working with leading podcast company The Big Light, founded by BBC Scotland's Janice Forsyth and producer Fiona White, the series takes a look at behind the door of Glasgow's hospice with candid interviews with patient staff, volunteers and supporters. Rona Bailey, Chief Executive of the Prince and Princess of Wales Hospice, said, "We're delighted to be working with The Big Light on this exciting new series. Hospice care is often misunderstood and sometimes feared. Death and dying is a part of life, but at hospice we believe that while we cannot add days to life, we can add life to days. The hospice offers people with life-limiting and terminal illnesses compassionate support and care throughout some of their most difficult times. We also support family members pre and post bereavement. This podcast series offers a glimpse behind the scenes of the hospice with real stories from the people who use our services and from those who provide them. It's a bustling building full of life. People make special trips to Bellahouston Park just to visit our public cafe, Barjacree. Teams of dedicated staff and volunteers have been providing gold standard palliative care to the people of Glasgow for 40 years, and this podcast series will hopefully help us dispel some of the myths around hospice care and open our doors to people all over the world." Pauline Moore is the host and producer of Dear Green Place. She has a long experience of working in radio and more recently podcasting. Pauline explains, "I'll be talking with patients and families, the young people who use services, clinical and nursing teams, the staff and volunteers who keep the place running, the fundraising team who organise events and activities to raise much needed revenue. We'll also feature the charity shops and plans for a market garden which will get underway in the warmer months. Dear Green Place is available now for download from thebiglight.com/deargreen-place.
Go Red this Heart Month. Revive Our Tool can help save lives. Report by Julie Curry. People across Scotland are being urged to show their support for the British Heart Foundation during Heart Month this February to help save and improve the lives of those affected by heart and circulatory diseases. From learning CPR to Going Red to support groundbreaking science, the charity hopes to inspire the nation to back its campaign, which launched on Wednesday, February the 1st. There are around 3,100 cardiac arrests out of hospital in Scotland every year. Sadly, just 1 in 10 people survive. Early CPR and defibrillation can move more than double chances of survival. That's why, this Heart Month, the BHF is encouraging everyone to learn CPR using its first-of-a-kind tool, Revive R, which helps the public learn life-saving CPR for free in just 15 minutes. All that is needed is a mobile phone and a firm cushion. Revive R teaches how to recognise a cardiac arrest, gives feedback on chest compressions, and outlines the correct steps of defibrillator use, giving anyone the confidence to step in and save a life in the event of the ultimate medical emergency. The BHF is also encouraging supporters to go red to help fund groundbreaking research into heart and circulatory diseases, which affect around 700,000 people in Scotland. Individuals and companies can go red any way they choose, from wearing red from top to toe, to rolling out the red carpet at work or taking on a red themed challenge. All will help raise money to find new treatments and breakthroughs. David McColgan, BHF Scotland Chief, said, "This Heart Month we're encouraging everyone across Scotland to join the BHF's campaign to help save and improve more lives. Every second counts when someone has cardiac arrest, and knowing CPR could be the difference between life and death. A cardiac arrest can happen to anyone at any time. It could be your partner, your child, or your mum or dad. It only takes 15 minutes to learn with Revive R. That's a coffee break or the time you might spend scrolling through social media. So please, don't put it off. It could be the most important lesson you ever learn." Our BHF funded scientists also want to find the breakthrough to help those affected by heart and circulatory diseases. Over the last 60 years, researchers turned ideas that once seemed like science fiction into reality. By going red and supporting the BHF this Heart Month, you will be helping to fund vital research that makes a real difference. Established in 1961, the charity is the largest independent funder of research into heart and circulatory diseases in Scotland, and its research and campaigning has contributed to the annual number of people dying in Scotland falling by half. However, they still cause nearly 3 in 10 deaths in Scotland. The BHF is currently funding more than £50 million in research in Scotland, funded entirely by donations from the public.
How you can help. Every pound raised for the British Heart Foundation makes a big difference. £6 can help buy test tubes that scientists use to aid their research. £25 could help give a researcher an hour of access to a powerful microscope. £22 provides an hour of vital support from a cardiac nurse to answer patients' questions on the BHF's free heart helpline, weekdays 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on 0300 330 3311. David McColgan added, "Please support the BHF this Heart Month in whatever way you can. Together we can make a real difference to the lives of people affected by heart and circulatory diseases." To find out more, visit bhf.org.uk/Heart Month.
Top Marks for Kirkintilloch School by Morag Cook. There were smiles all round the Holy Family Primary School in Kirkintilloch following publication of a positive inspection report from Education Scotland. A team of inspectors from Education Scotland visited the school in October 2022 and published their findings in December. There were several highlights for pupils and staff in the report, including children who are polite and support one another thoughtfully. They are proud of their school and their achievements. Children are respected and valued members of their community. The head teacher and staff know children and families well. Together, they have developed positive relationships across the school community. A nursery team who are highly reflective and continually strive to improve learning experiences for children. The effective teamwork of teaching staff to improve approaches to learning and teaching. Councillor Linda Williamson, convener of education, gave the report a big thumbs up when she went to visit the school. She said, "The year has kicked off to a great start for Holy Family Primary School and Early Years Centre. There was a real buzz about the place when I visited to congratulate the staff and children on their recent inspection report. It is evident the children thrive in the wonderful community spirit which is encouraged and embraced by the staff and wider school community. Staff have worked hard to make improvements to approaches to learning and teaching, and this was reflected in levels of attainment across the school and early years centre. Everyone at Holy Family should be very proud of their achievements. Well done. Head teacher Andrew Gallagher added, "We are all very pleased with the inspection report and are extremely proud of our thoughtful, considerate children and their effective teamwork in creating a nurturing learning environment in which our children can thrive. We will continue working together as a team to pursue improved learning outcomes and achievements for all our children across both the early years centre and primary school."
The Co-op is looking for new members. Co-op has launched a recruitment drive across Eastern Bartonshire, calling for new member representatives to have a say in the running of the group and its food stores, funeral homes, legal business and insurance arm. Members' council leaders have said that applications within underrepresented societal groups are particularly welcome this year, including those from younger age groups, ethnic minorities, candidates with disabilities, and those from the LGBTQ+ community. Across the UK, there are 26 vacancies on the Co-op National Members' Council, which works closely with the board and senior managers to ensure the voice of more than 4 million active members is heard throughout the group. Co-op wants to create a fairer world for everyone, and in 2023, the Members' Council is focusing on cost of living, member value and business performance, and member participation and community as its 3 priorities. Denise Scott MacDonald, the Members' Council's president, is encouraging applications from people who want to help Co-op tackle the big issues that communities are facing. She said, As a cooperative, we welcome all applications. If we want to create a fairer world, we need to represent as many different voices as possible in our work and our co-op. Right now, there's so much to address and help out with. We know that people are keen to support however they can, and being part of Co-op and the Members' Council is a fantastic way to get involved and join something bigger. We also work closely with member-nominated directors and call on the business to take action with motions at our annual general meeting, all crucial to engaging with our members and including them in the co-op they own. Council representatives can serve a term between 1 and 3 years. The 100 people that make up the council come from all walks of life and include ordinary members, people who trade with co-op's businesses, colleague members, and members from independent cooperative societies. See www.co-operative.get-involved-council election. That's www.co-operative.get-involved/council election, and can apply until midday on February 23rd.
Family announcements. Deaths. Thompson, Marjorie. Peacefully at home on Sunday, January 8th, 2023. Aged 82. Much loved sister, aunt and friend. Talented embroiderer and gardener. Funeral service at Glasgow Crematorium, Maryhill on Tuesday, February 7th at 3 p.m. Bright and joyful coloured clothes would be welcomed. Family flowers only, please.
Holyrood Notes by Rona Mackay, MSP. Significant funding to Twicker Community Action. One of the highlights of being an MSP is helping to celebrate the achievements of my constituents. A way I can do this is to raise a special motion in the Scottish Parliament to recognise local success. Last week, it was the turn of a well-known and popular bakery in Kirkintilloch to do the constituency proud. Peter's Bakery at Merklin Drive came away with 2 trophies in the 2023 World Championship Scotch Pie Awards. As well as being crowned the home of the best apple pie in Scotland, the local firm took the Bronze Award for their delicious steak and haggis pies. This is a fantastic achievement for a much loved local business, and all credit to their hard work and dedication. As well as award-winning local firms, we have a wealth of wonderful community groups in Strathkelvin and Bearsden. The National Lottery Awards for All Scotland recently awarded significant funding to Twicker Community Action for a 3-year community project which will see activities for all within the group's Healthy Living Centre to support the mental and physical well-being of local people. Local group families of Auctioneering coming together, fact, who supported the area's most vulnerable residents during COVID, but also benefit from funding. The group now provide a range of family activities, as well as helping older people facing social isolation. Congratulations to Lenzie Academy pupils in securing lottery funding to create a commemoration area to honour and remember pupils and staff who have sadly passed away. Our schools are so central to the well-being of the community. I welcome a feasibility study being proposed for a new £23 million primary school, library and community hub at Westerton and Bearsden. The prospect of a new school is an exciting one, which will see significant investment and improvement in the area, and the local community will be fully consulted. Myself and my colleague Amy Callaghan MP look forward to hearing the views of constituents. My constituency office is open 9:30am to 4:30pm, Monday, Wednesday and Fridays. My team can help with any issue on 0141 776 1561 or email rona.mackay.msp@parliament.com for a surgery appointment. And that was the Holyrood Notes by Rona Mackay MSP. Let's talk. Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald letters page, Wednesday the 1st of February 2023. Please send your letters via email to kirkyherald@gnscotland.co.uk and write letters in the subject field. Loved ones condemned to extend deaths which involve pain and fear. Sir, I am a recently retired palliative care nurse. 18 months ago, my much-loved partner of 42 years died of aggressive metastatic cancer. I nursed her at home and she took 4 weeks to die. Her last week she was in bed, in severe pain on movement, unable to take any liquid medication, so reliant on top-up medication from the district nurse, which obviously cannot be given instantly. She was on massive doses of painkillers, sedatives and anti-nausea drugs via a syringe driver. During this last week, she went into respiratory distress, which means her breathing rate climbed and she was gasping for breath. She had a stroke, meaning she had one-sided weakness, and in her final 36 hours lost the ability to cough and swallow, meaning she was effectively drowning in her own saliva and respiratory secretions. Medication can be given to alleviate the latter, but it's not very effective and has the side effect of causing a very dry mouth, which is uncomfortable. I know from discussions with her that she would have taken assisted dying if it had been available, and I would have supported her to do so. She had the very best palliative care from me and from the NHS, which meant her periods of pain, distress and fear were infrequent and short-lived, but she still had to go through that. Our current law is clear. We can only treat symptoms, so someone has to be in pain before they can have painkillers. They have to be in distress before sedatives can be given. Accordingly, even the very best palliative care can only alleviate the pain, fear and stress of dying. It can never eliminate them. I fully support the right to choose, and that also means the right of religious to not avail themselves of the ability to choose assisted dying. I object very strongly to the religious telling me and my loved ones they cannot accept assisted dying, and to condemn my loved ones to an extended death with pain and fear. I beg the Church to put aside the religious objections and be compassionate, and to accept that the majority of people in Scotland want this very limited and humane measure put in place. If it had been in place, my much-loved partner would have had a better death. Yours, etc., Jeremy Pascoe, by email. Scotland is not a colony. Sir, Nicola Sturgeon continues to peddle the colonial myth and that she will take Scotland out of the UK. Of course, she knows that Scotland is not a colony, but it suits her scenario to imply that it is a downtrodden colony of the British Empire, entitled to leave whenever it wants. However, like residents of Hotel California, Scotland can check out, but it cannot leave. That is because it is bound by the 1707 Treaty of Union, something the SNP appears unwilling to mention. Any change to that treaty would be a matter for the whole UK, or at least of Great Britain. There would need to be a UK referendum on the matter. I never understood David Cameron's reasoning. Did he realise that he was putting the future of the whole UK at risk? Fortunately, the sane voters of Scotland saved us from disaster. Yours, etc., Stuart Campbell, address supplied. Threat of two-tier NHS. Sir, it has been reported that Sajid Javid, the former UK Health Secretary, said that charging for GP and A&E visits is crucial for the continuation of NHS England. He envisages a two-tier system where those who can pay for care do so and inevitably get the best and fastest care. That was what we suffered before the NHS gave everyone equally good treatment and medication. Unless Scotland wants to return to the bad old days, those who now profess a desire to remain in the Union should consider whether they are rich enough not to worry about having to pay for or insure themselves for the best treatment on offer. NHS Scotland may need to change treatments presently available. We all accept that. However, having medical care available free to everyone is a service that I was proud to work for and happy to have available to me and my family, and if NHS Scotland's survival rests on becoming an independent country, then I am all for it. To be subsumed by a two-tiered NHS England, where the rich get good treatment and the poor can't afford, is a return to the bad old days. Yours, etc., Elizabeth Scott, by email.
Let's Talk to a Farmer returns. We all have questions we would love to ask, especially about other people's way of life, their jobs, or where they live. That's why rural education charity, the Royal Highland Education Trust, RHET, in partnership with eScoils Developing Young Workforce, DYW, live team, is hosting Talk to a Farmer Week from February 6th to 10th, giving children the chance to learn more about farming, farmers, and the countryside. Farmers and growers across Scotland will be streaming into classrooms up and down the country to answer questions from school pupils. The DYW Live team provide live sessions supporting young people to develop work skills and provide inspiration for future careers. With their support, RHET is offering 4 sessions per day over the week for schools nationwide. A network of RHET coordinators who link schools to local farmers have pulled together an exciting timetable featuring volunteers from the local area to share their farming stories, with eScoils DYW Live team helping live stream questions and answer sessions with viewers. Carol Littlewood, RHET Angus Project Coordinator, said, "Being able to offer schools visits to working farms or by visiting them in school is all possible thanks to those who give the RHET their time for free. Farmers from all over the country support RHET in our work in so many different ways, and this online event is just one of them. We are delighted to see a steady return of schools visiting our working countryside, so this online event is a brilliant shop window, a snapshot of what they could see when they are out and about." Teachers who took part last year told RHET they found the experience not only enjoyable but informative. Pupils were in the classroom in front of the whiteboard and were transfixed by the scenery and had a great time thinking up questions to ask. If you're a teacher and would like to get involved, visit rhet.org.uk. That's rhet.org.uk and sign up at the link on the homepage. If you're a farmer, grower, or someone with an interest in helping RHET deliver free food and farming learning to 3 to 18-year-olds, please get in touch too.
Police appeal following assault. Police are appealing for information following an assault with intent to rob in the Lennoxtown area that happened on Friday, January the 20th. Around 10:50 a.m, a 19-year-old man was approached on a woodland footpath, part of the John Muir Walk at the back of Calico Way, by a man who threatened him with a knife and demanded his belongings. The man was unsuccessful and made off. The 19-year-old was uninjured but has been left badly shaken by the experience. The suspect is described as white, around 6 feet 4 inches, aged 20 to 30 years old, and spoke with an English accent. He was wearing a dark-coloured Adidas tracksuit and a black hat, pulled down to conceal his face. Anyone with information is asked to call Police Scotland on 101, quoting incident number 1231 of Friday the 20th of January 2023, or make a call anonymously to Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111.
District News. Churches. Home Church, Scotland, Lammermuir Road, Kirkintilloch, G66 4JP. Whosoever lives and believes in me shall never die. John chapter 11 verse 26. One church, 4 locations: Kirkintilloch, Glasgow, Stornoway and online. A church for all ages. Saturdays, warm space, warm welcome at home church every Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Tuesdays, mother and toddler group, 10 a.m. Fridays, youth fellowship at 7:30 p.m. Sunday, February the 5th, 10 a.m. prayer meeting followed by refreshments. 11 a.m. worship service, including communion. Children's church and creche followed by refreshments. The service in Glasgow is now at 3:30 p.m. Transport leaves home church at 3 p.m. Home groups recommence in February. See Facebook and Instagram for up-to-date information. St David's Memorial Park Church. At St David's Memorial Park Church, our Sunday morning service on February the 5th will be at 10:30 a.m. All are welcome to attend our service. During the service, school-aged children will have the opportunity to go through to our halls with leaders of JAM for their own time of fun and learning. Our Tuesday lunchtime service will be held each Tuesday from noon in our small hall. Our next service will be February the 7th. All are welcome to attend this afternoon service. Our Friendship Club will also meet on February the 7th from 1:30 p.m. until 3:30 p.m. Again, you are warmly invited to come along to the church. The church has commenced with a warm space event. This will continue on Mondays in 2023. The church will be open from noon until 4 p.m. All are welcome to come along. Volunteers are needed to support this event. If you can offer some time and support, please contact the church through the Facebook page. Kirkintilloch Church of God. On Sunday, at Regent Hall, Regent Street, there will be a family praise service at 4 p.m. This features the Gospel Praise Band, video presentations, and our speaker Rodney Johnson. Refreshments will be served after the service. All welcome. Every Wednesday the Coffee Corner is open from noon to 2 p.m. for home baking and coffee. Join our friends and neighbours for a chat over a coffee. For up-to-date and further information on our services, visit our website on www.regenthall.org. Jesus said, "The Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and give his life as a ransom for many." Mark chapter 10, verse 45. St James Church, Hilton Road, Bishopbriggs. Rector the Reverend Paul Watson, 0141 230 4080. There is a communion service on Thursday at 11 a.m. and on Sunday, February the 5th, 9 a.m. in the chapel, and at 10:30 a.m. on Sunday in church with hymns. Everyone is welcome to come along to any of these services. Face masks a personal choice. Do stay on for tea and coffee and fellowship afterwards. On Sunday, the 5th of February, from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m, there is a session of crafty kids in the church hall. All families are very welcome to come along and enjoy activities together. The meditation labyrinth is still available in the car park for a mindful walk round. There are also virtual services in groups. For up-to-date and further information, refer to our social media. Facebook, St James of Less, Bishopbriggs. Website, www.stjamesbishopbriggs.org.uk. Lenzie Union Parish Church. Sunday worship on February the 5th is 11 a.m, led by the Reverend Dan Carmichael. There is tea and coffee in the new hall after the service. Young people are also welcome to Lighthouse and Bible class. A live stream of the service is available on YouTube via our website. The meeting place coffee shop is open on Wednesdays 10 a.m to noon in the new hall. Meet your friends and enjoy a chat or a cup of tea or coffee. Everyone, from the very young to the young at heart, is welcome to attend. We also have a good selection of greetings cards and second-hand books for sale. The Drop-In Youth Cafe on Thursdays, 3:45pm until 5pm, is a place where young people can hang out, relax and have a good time after a long day at school. Each week there is a free snack, with lots of different things to do, such as games consoles, table tennis, arts and craft, board games and more. The coffee pot is open on Fridays 10 a.m. till noon in the new hall for teas, coffee and chat. Colston Well Park Church. Welcome to our morning service at Colston Well Park, commencing at 11 a.m. and led by Reverend Leslie Grieve. Tea and coffee served in the hall after the service. This Monday the Colston Art Club continues from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. All budding artists will be made welcome and, if interested, call 07709 584 680 for more information. This Wednesday from 11 a.m. till 12:30 p.m, Cake and Company invites all who need some friendly chat and good company. The food bank continues its worthwhile work within the community and is open every Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. A special thanks to all who steadfastly donate and give of their time. Follow Colston's church services on Facebook at Colston Well Park Parish Church, and if you require further information on any of our church activities, contact Leslie Grieve on 07813 255 052. Milton of Campsie Church. Time to pray is at 7:15 p.m. on Wednesday, and the Guild meets at 7:30 p.m. for a talk by Robert Keyes on Glasgow Cathedral. Baby Anchor and Junior sections are at 6:15 p.m. on Friday. Thanks to all who sent in pictures of family. For next Sunday, please send us a picture of yourself with some form of light. Making sense of membership is from 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Lunch and discussion. Go Mad Extra Minionissimo begins at 1 p.m. on Sunday. Jot form registration is now online. TIF, taking it further, is at 7 p.m. Warm Spaces Hub is on Monday at 1 p.m. To volunteer and or for more information, contact Anne Peart, annepeart56@gmail.com or 01360 313 003. Also on Mondays, Baby and Toddler Group at 9:45 a.m, Hobbies Club at 2 p.m, Badminton Club at 7:30 p.m. Springfield Cambridge Church. Morning worship on Sunday, February the 5th will be led by Reverend Ian Taylor and Mrs. Julie Harty in the sanctuary at 11 a.m. The Sacrament of Holy Communion will be celebrated at this service. The Sunday school meets in room 2. There is also a creche facility where we will be happy to look after your child, birth to 3 years, in room 2. Morning worship has also been live streamed on the Springfield Cambridge Church YouTube channel. A link to this can be found on the Springfield Cambridge Church website, www.springfieldcambridge.org.uk, and Facebook page, where up-to-date information about events and church organisations can also be found. On Sunday, February the 5th, tickets, donation price £10, will be available for members of the fundraising group in the Hall of Fellowship for the Quiz and Fish Supper Night, taking place on Saturday, February the 18th. The fundraising group are offering you the chance to win a Pamper hamper as a gift for yourself or a friend. The hamper will be in display beside the entry slips in the Hall of Fellowship on Sunday, February the 5th. There will be a vestry hour on Wednesday, February the 1st from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. for anyone wishing to talk with the minister. There will be a short weekly service of worship in the Springfield Chapel on Wednesday, February the 1st from 11:10am to 11:30am, after which tea and coffee will be available in the Hall of Fellowship. Kenmure Parish Church. Reverend Susan Anderson will lead our Sunday morning worship starting at 11am. The service will be live streamed on YouTube and can be found by searching for Kenmure Bishopbriggs. Our warm welcome hub is open on Fridays from noon until 3pm, providing a warm, safe place with free hot soup, coffee, tea, etc. to all who might enjoy some fellowship each week. This is open to all, not just members of the congregation. Details of all of our groups that are currently running may be found on our website, kenmure-church.co.uk. To find us on Facebook, just search for Kenmure Parish Church. If you would like to join our WhatsApp group or receive Bible studies from ABC, then email us at kenmurechurch@icloud.com. Hairstains Baptist Church. Hairstains Baptist Church and Community Centre invite you to join them on Tuesday evenings from 6pm to come into a warm space. You can enjoy a bowl of homemade soup, a bread roll, tea and coffee, and biscuits, chat with others from the local community, play games and make new friends. The centre is in the grounds of Hairstains Primary School, G66 2SA. We look forward to welcoming you. District News, General, 1st of February 2023. Citizens Advice Bureau. East Dunbartonshire Citizens Advice Bureau give notice of their annual general and public meeting to be heard virtually on Friday, February the 10th at 2pm. Please contact us on 0141 775 3220 or by email bureau@eastdunbartonshire.casonline.org.uk to receive the Zoom meeting link. Nominations to the trustee board from interested parties welcome. Rise in stroke numbers. Campaigners raise alarm over Scotland's high stroke numbers. Responding to the latest annual Scottish stroke figures, the Stroke Association has expressed concern that people in Scotland are much more likely to have a stroke than those in the rest of the UK. The latest data from Public Health Scotland suggests that the incidence rate for stroke, adjusted for age and sex, has decreased by just 2.4% since 2012-13. John Watson, Associate Director for the Stroke Association, said, "Stroke rates in Scotland are a third higher than for the UK as a whole. We need to see much faster progress if we are to reduce the devastating personal and cost of stroke and bring Scotland more in line with its neighbours." Worryingly, this report shows that stroke incidence amongst men has actually increased slightly, and those in the most deprived areas are also twice as likely to be discharged from hospital with a stroke, a gap that has widened in the last year. However, there is good news in the report too. Stroke mortality rates continue to decline, indicating that the standard of care and treatment provided by Scotland's stroke community is helping deliver better outcomes for stroke patients. But even here, there is still much to do. We need to see concerted action to address Scotland's unacceptably high stroke numbers. The Stroke Association is urging greater awareness of and action on atrial fibrillation, a form of irregular heartbeat that greatly increases stroke risk. Tens of thousands of people in Scotland are unaware they have this condition, so we urge everyone to check their pulse at home. If it doesn't feel regular, then go and speak to your GP practice and they can advise on the range of treatments that can dramatically reduce stroke risk. Use up old stamps. Royal Mail is reminding customers to use up or swap out their non-barcoded definitive stamps. Customers have until July the 31st to use up their old non-barcoded definitive stamps after the Royal Mail introduced a 6-month grace period to give customers even longer to use up their old non-barcoded stamps. This means that the customers use the old style stamps as normal until July the 31st, when non-barcoded stamps will no longer be valid and liable to a surcharge. Even after the near July 31st deadline, customers will still be able to swap non-barcoded stamps for barcoded stamps through Royal Mail's simple and free swap-out scheme. The swap-out scheme opened on March 31st, 2022, and there is currently no end date as to when customers could swap their non-barcoded stamps by. Royal Mail continues to encourage customers to check their purses, wallets and drawers to find and use their non-barcoded definitive stamps before the final deadline of July the 31st. Competition. Enter the Heating Installer Awards. The search for Scotland's best heating installer closes in soon. After a record year so far, the Heating Installer Awards 2023 will be closing for entries on February the 24th. The incredible talent of installers from Scotland has been especially noticeable, and the competition for the prestigious title of National Heating Installer is tougher than ever. Past winners from Scotland include Sean Scott of Derek Scott Plumbing and Heating and Ian Williamson of Dynamic Energy, who were praised by the industry judges for their excellent customer service, technical expertise and commitment to the trade. This year, the awards will recognise winners from each region across the UK, who will all have the chance to go on and be crowned the National Heating Installer Awards winner 2023, as well as 3 special category winners: Rising Star for the industry's best apprentices, Most Sustainable Installer in the North, and Most Sustainable Installer in the South, recognising their commitment to more sustainable practices. Supported by Danfoss, Polypipe, Refetch PR, Sterad, Stellard, Big Wipes, CIPHE, and Installer Show, the awards are completely free to enter and give heating installers a unique opportunity to showcase a project that demonstrates not only their fantastic results, but clever product selection, great customer service and technical expertise to potential clients. The awards have a prize bundle worth over £10,000 in offer for the finalists, including a trip to Danfoss's headquarters in Denmark for the national winner. After the closing date, an expert judging panel made up of industry professionals will gather at Danfoss HQ to mark the best entries in specialist categories. The champion of the Scotland region will then go up against all of the other regional winners, with the National Heating Installer Award winner 2023 being decided by a combination of judges' scores, independently reviewed technical challenges, and a public vote. To enter, plumbers and heating installers should visit www.heatinginstallersawards.co.uk and fill in the short entry form, or call in 0161 871 1188 and make your entry over the phone. To hear more about the Heating Installers Awards, follow @HI Awards on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. Calling all budding actors. Here is a chance to take part in a special production of the great musical Matilda. This is a chance for all young people from primary 6 to secondary 6, or equivalent age, to come and give drama a try. Why not come along to the Turret Theatre, 9 East Side, Kirkintilloch, G66 1PY, on Tuesday, February the 21st, at 6:30pm to find out more. Don't be shy, give drama a try. This is a great chance to find out if you would like the chance to go on stage and enjoy the challenges of acting in front of a live audience. Kirkintilloch Players is an amateur drama company and a Scottish charity, SC 002574, regulated by the Scottish Charity Regulator, OSCR. Everyone is very welcome to come along.
Leanne makes her first signing. An article by Brian Yule and read by me, Corey. Glasgow City's interim lead coach, Leanne Ross, will continue her role as assistant coach of the women's national team, it has been confirmed. Pedro Martinez Losa's side travel to Spain next month for the 4-team Pinatar Cup. The SFA spokesperson said, Leanne's role with the national team is unchanged, and planning is going ahead as normal for Pinatar. However, Ross will no longer take charge of the Scotland under-16s team. She has had a great start as interim City boss, leading the Petershill Park Club to the top of the SPWL 1 table. City are yet to advertise for a new head coach since the departure of Aileen Gleeson, and Ross has made her first new signing with the arrival of South African international Linda Motohalo. The 24-year-old attacking midfielder is joined until the summer of 2025 from Swedish side Djurgårdens IF. Motohalo started her career in her native South Africa before moving to the NWSL side Houston Dash in 2018, then spent a year with Beijing Phoenix before transferring to Djurgårdens IF in 2020. She made her first senior international appearance at the age of 17 and scored on her debut. She is now a key figure in Desiree Ellis's side and has won 62 caps to date, scoring 16 goals. Previously part of the South African squad at France 2019, Motohalo is expected to compete at the World Cup finals this summer, after helping her country win the African Cup of Nations, securing their place in Australia/New Zealand. Motohalo told Glasgow City TV, "I'm so happy to be here. I wanted to experience a new environment. I've been in Sweden and wanted a new challenge, so that's why I chose Glasgow. I know it's pretty cold here just now, but I've gotten a warm welcome from the girls and the coaches. I've seen the team. They've been doing really, really well, and I'm just here to add value and hopefully help keep the team at the top of the league." The development of women's football in South Africa is not as fast as in Europe. I used to play with boys before I could play with girls, but I love the way it is going. Motohalo, known as the Randafontein Ronaldinho, previously played with former City defender Janine van Wyk, who set up her own team to play in the Sasol League, and later the National Women's League. The international team caption has added something of a mentor to Motohalo over the years, for both club and country. She said, "I started my training at the High Performance Centre before going to Janine's team. She has really helped me to develop as a player. I've played with her for so many years and it's been amazing." The first time I went out of South Africa was to the US, but I wasn't alone as I with Janie and Thembe Kigatlana, so I always had people around me and was always comfortable. I never explored until I went to Sweden, where I was alone and had to be independent. So I learned a lot over those years, to stand up for and depend on myself. Janine has played a huge role in my life, and since I got in the national team, she has always been supportive and has always been my number one fan. The most important thing she told me is I'm going to enjoy myself here. The style of playing is going to suit me. The coaches and players are very nice. They very good people, which is important to me. I can't wait to get this chapter started. Ross added, "Linda arrives with a wealth of experience on her CV from her time in some of the top leagues in the world, and her impressive international career with South Africa. I have no doubt a player of Linda's experience and technical ability will enhance her already talented squad. She is an exciting, attacking talent who I am very much looking forward to working with." Motohalo made her debut as late substitute on Sunday, as City drew 0-0 away to Rangers. The result allowed Celtic to close the gap at the top of the SWPL 1 to 3 points, after they won 2-1 away to Hearts. Next up for City is another Glasgow derby, as Partick Thistle come calling on Sunday. Rossvale were held 1-1 away at Ayr United in the Championship, and third will host second on Sunday with the visit of Renfrew. Meanwhile, the club has appointed Michael Docherty as head of women's and girls football. Docherty has a vast amount of knowledge and experience across the club's women's pathways, and will be an invaluable influence across the club's new structure. This new role will be supported by Jim Hill, who has been appointed to the position Operations Coordinator. Hill will also be working closely with Head of Operations Billy Stevenson to promote positive operational change. West Park United lost 4-1 away to Drumchapel United in the SWF West and are at home to Bishopton on Sunday, with both sides having picked up 1 point from their first 3 games. That article was written by Brian Yule and read by me, Corey. Vale left to lick their wounds. An article by Brian Yule. Rossvale felt everything went against them during a 2-1 defeat at home to Johnston Borough as they battle for survival in the WOS First Division. The home side had the ball in the net after 20 minutes, but were denied by a wrong offside call. Rossvale then had goalkeeper Pryor shown a red card 6 minutes later, and to rub salt in the wound, the Wayside went ahead 2 minutes later with Jojo Gillespie fired home a free kick from the edge of the box. The 10 men fought back, and Fraser Malcolm equalised after 35 minutes to make it level at the break. Rossvale has 2 strong penalty shouts in a matter of moments turned down in the first half, so felt aggrieved when the Borough winners came from the spot 7 minutes from time. The award was on the soft side, but Gillespie didn't care as he stepped up to grab his second of the game by finding the bottom corner. Rossvale admin Dominic McInally wrote on Facebook, "Having lost out 2-1 in our last home league game with a goal in the 96th minute, this was just gutting, after playing with 10 men for 65 minutes. Every player worked themselves into the ground, and to lose in the way they did was soul-destroying. They deserved more from this game, yet again. But when you're fighting like we are and not getting the breaks, I feel shattered for the coaches and the players. Whilst there is still life in this club, we will carry on, as we have done since the start of the season until the end. We now have to pick ourselves up from yet another massive cup tie. That cup tie will see Rossvale host Lowland League side East Kilbride in the 4th round of the South Challenge Cup on Saturday. There were defeats for both Kirkintilloch Rob Roy and Peters Hill in the Premier Division on Saturday. Rob Roy went down 3-0 at Glen Afton Athletic, while Peters Hill, who lost 3-1 away to Glen Afton last midweek, were beaten 2-0 as they travelled to Auchinleck Talbot. Both will be home this week, as Peters Hill welcomes Larks Thistle on Friday, and Rob Roy host Beath Juniors the next day. A late penalty by Jordan Pierre wasn't enough as Ashfield lost 2-1 away to Kilsyth Rangers in the 2nd Division. The results enabled Ashfield to remain third as the hunt for promotion intensifies, but Glasgow Pershore joined them on 27 points with a 2-2 draw at Muirkirk. Pershore twice went ahead through Ryan Gemmell and Logan McIntyre, but on both occasions were pegged back by the home side. Ashfield are at home to Wishaw on Saturday, while Pershore have no fixture. West Park United moved to within 7 points of Kilsyth Athletic with 2 games in hand at the top of the 4th Division, with the 7-1 win away to Ellington, while the league leaders were being held 1-1 by Thorn Athletic. In the same division, Rossvale Academy lost 4-1 at Campbelltown Pupils. Academy are at home to Thorn on Saturday, while West Park travelled to 3rd place Thrieve Rovers. That article was written by Brian Yule.
France look to add to their rich Six Nations history. The annual spectacle that is the Rugby Union Six Nations begins on February the 4th with 2022 champions France defending their title against England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales and Italy. The Six Nations Championship is the oldest international rugby tournament in the world, dating back to its original incarnation in 1883 and expanding to its current format of 6 teams in 2000. The Six Nations is a successor to the Home Nations Championship 1883 to 1909 and 1932 to 39, played between teams from England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales, which was the first international rugby tournament. With the addition of France, this became the Five Nations Championship 1910 to 31 and 1947 to 99, which in turn became the Six Nations Championship with the addition of Italy in 2000. Following the relative success of the Tier 2 nations in the 2015 Rugby World Cup, there were calls for Rugby Union President Octavian Marariu to let Georgia and Romania join the Six Nations due to their consistent success in the European Nations Cup and ability to compete in the Rugby World Cup. A bonus point system was first used in the 2017 Championship. The system is similar to the one used in most rugby championships: 0 points for a loss, 2 for a draw, 4 for a win, 1 for scoring 4 or more tries in a match, and 1 for losing by 7 points or fewer. The only difference is that a team that wins all other games, a Grand Slam, is automatically awarded 3 extra points to ensure they cannot be overtaken by a defeated team on bonus points. Before 1994, teams equal in match points shared the championship. Since then, ties have been broken by considering the points difference, total points scored minus total points conceded, of the teams. Wales and France have won the most Grand Slams under the Six Nations format with 4 each. England and Ireland have won 2 each, and Scotland and Italy have never won a Grand Slam. The most wooden spoons, a metaphorical award given to the team that finishes in last place, or a team that loses all games, since the tournament's earliest incarnation, goes to Ireland with 25, Scotland 24, England, Italy and Wales 17 each, and France 13. A trophy was originally conceived by the Earl of Westmoreland, first presented to winners of the 1993 Championship, France. A new trophy was introduced for the 2015 Championships to replace the version that had been created in 1993 when the competition was titled the Five Nations. The new trophy was designed and crafted from more than 50 pieces of sterling silver by Her Majesty's silversmith, Thomas Light. The main part of the trophy has 6 sides representing the Six Nations, with each nation's crest engraved in the bottom plinth. Magnificent 7 trophies. Calcutta Cup, played between England and Scotland since 1979, made from melted down Indian rupees donated by the Calcutta Club. Millennium Trophy, played between England and Ireland since 1988, presented to celebrate Dublin's millennium in 1988. Centenary Quaich, played between Ireland and Scotland since 1989. Giuseppe Garibaldi Trophy, played between France and Italy since 2007, commemorating 200th anniversary of birth of Giuseppe Garibaldi, leader in the unification of Italy and volunteer in French Republican Army against Prussia. Auld Alliance Trophy, played between France and Scotland since 2018, in memory of war dead from rugby communities of Scotland and France. Doddie Weir Cup, played between Wales and Scotland since 2018 in recognition of the late great Doddie Weir, who founded My Name's Doddie Foundation, supporting research into motor neuron disease. Catita Cup, played by Scotland and Italy since 2022, commemorating Massimo Catita, former Italian captain and Scotland scrum coach, who died in 2021 at the age of 54 from COVID-19.
That concludes this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast. Please remember to subscribe to our channels at Tune Review and to tell your friends about our service.